Welcome back to the Gluten-Free Casein-Free Challenge. I want to talk to you about how you can navigate food infractions. They are going to happen for us. They happened when we went out socializing, or when my son went out for a weekend. So these things are going to happen. They're not going to happen once, twice, but they're going to happen a lot of times. So I really do not want you to be in a panic. So today I want to share with you an emergency kit that I share with my clients that they always have, to make sure that the impact of a food infraction is not going to cause any regression for their child. Hello there, my name is Natsai. I'm a naturopathic nutritionist with special interest in brain nutrition and, of course, autism. We are on the gluten-free, casein-free challenge. If you haven't followed the challenge, you can go ahead and start from day one. There's quite a lot of ground that we've already covered. But one thing that is going to happen is food infractions. I've already spoken about the importance of avoiding food infractions. I've already spoken about the impact of food infractions on the immune system and the possible regressions that will happen with the food infractions. So I'm not going to be looking at that area. I just want to cover how you can navigate food infractions to make sure that the impact of the food infraction is not going to actually cause regression for your child, or to take your child 10 steps back. The first thing that I want you to do when your child has a food infraction, really, if somebody has come to tell you, please thank them. It's very, very important that people tell us if our children have a food infraction. For me, this was a massive error. When I first started on this journey, I would cry, I would blow my top off. So people stopped telling me. And I would say, Mommy, did he eat something that he shouldn't eat? No. But obviously, his behavior is going to be telling. Obviously, lack of sleep, hyperactivity, sound sensitivity will just come back with a vengeance. And so people stopped telling me that he had a food infractions, and because of my reaction. So when people tell you that your child has had a food infraction, thank them. Then you can get your emergency kit out and you can support your child accordingly, and the journey carries on. And if it is you, just learn from it. Don't really get too upset. I have clients that are, emailing, WhatsApping, they really go into a panic mode because the child has eaten gluten. Really, I promise you, it's not the end of the world. Just calm yourself down and support your child. Your child is going to be okay. They will have a temporal regression for some. Their symptoms will be very, exacerbated, but they will still come back, and you can start from there. Okay, so do not panic. Then what I would want you to do is to make sure that you know where the food infractions are happening, and then you can avoid that. If food infractions are happening at school, communicate with the school to make sure that they are not happening. If they're happening at your sister's place, like my sister's place, communicate with them again, educate the people. And if it's happening at home because you're buying these things that your child shouldn't be eating, then you may want to consider not bringing those things at home, or bringing in locks. I remember when my ex-husband was still there, we used to have, locks for the fridges, because the little kid just went for those things in the fridge. So we locked our cupboards, and we locked our fridge. So you may want to consider that, and make sure you minimize the risk for food infraction. Then you can bring in your emergency kit. In there's going to be digestive enzymes, which contain the DPP4, which will support the breaking down of the residual casein or gluten that may still be in the stomach. If it's hours and hours after, then no point. But if it's within few hours, then it can actually be helpful to lower that inflammation and to break down the residual casein and gluten. Okay, then you may want to consider bringing in charcoal. Charcoal will mop up all those toxins, but don't forget to hydrate your kid, to flush it out, and make sure that your child is pooing. Please make sure your baby is pooing, because we do not want to give these binders and your child doesn't poo. So you can actually consider giving charcoal. I have a brand that I use, and I share that in the community. The other thing you want to think about is vitamin C, ascorbic acid will be really great for some children because it's an antioxidant to calm the immune system down. Because once you have a food infraction, the soldiers are going to be coming out from the camp and they are going to be coming for war because they think there's an invader that has come. So the immune system is going to go into that state of hyper alert, and obviously that's going to trigger a lot of inflammation. So we want to calm the system down, and vitamin C is going to be amazing for that. You can try and use those things for a few days to make sure that your child doesn't have any aggravating symptoms associated with the food infractions. Let me know what your child looks like when you have a food infraction. Or have you heard of any food infraction? Really, have you had any food infraction? Where was that? And how can you avoid it next time? Let us know in the comments and how you've navigated that, or possibly how did you stay calm? Because most of us parents struggle with remaining calm after a food infraction because we do know how bad that things are going to be for the next few days for our children. And it does take us 10 steps back, which is completely unnecessary suffering. But hey ho, this is life. Like one of my mommy said, life is life. When life happens, it's life. But for now, from my heart, cheers. Bye-bye.